Thank you for participating in this presentation of our new MSc in Sports Analytics. As I have added also in the announcement, the program is currently in the ministry for the final approval, and we expect it to start on October 2026. So today we are going to have a short presentation about the program. And also have a discussion at the end for replying for every questions or whatever you want to discuss. Also have in mind that the first interviews will be held this week and next week. So some people, they have arranged also their first meetings for interviews. So we will have the first notifications about acceptance by the end of the week. With us, it is Dr. Sotiris Drikos from the Department of Physical Exercise and Sports Sciences of the University of Athens, who is participating with us in the organization of the Masters, and also Dr. Panousis, who is assistant professor in machine learning in our department. Okay, so my name is Ioannis Zoufras, and I'm professor of statistics. And with Professor Karlis, we are the people that we have organized. We are behind this MSc and the organization. As you will see here in the opening slide of my presentation, you see many different logos. The University of Athens, we come from the Department of Statistics, so this is an MSc which is held jointly with the Department of Statistics and the Department of Physical Science and Sports Sciences in the University of Athens. This is organized by the AUEB Sports Analytics Group, where also Sotiris, Dr. Drikos participates. And it will be a double degree with the DG Sport Graduate School in the University of Rennes 2 and the University of Naples, and also the University of Trieste will participate, will help us with some of the organization of the Masters. So the aim of the whole project is to be fully international, and for some of you also to continue your studies either in Naples or in Rennes. Okay, so before I start, I will say a few words about the AUEB Sports Analytics Group. Why? Because this is the group that created that master. So it is a research group that was founded about 10 years, 11 years ago. It is a group inside the Computational and Bayesian Statistics Lab of the Department of Statistics at AUEB, at Athens University of Economics and Business. And it is created originally by me, Ioannis Zoufras, and Professor Karlis. You can find the webpage here if you want to learn more. A few words about me. I am professor here. I was the head of the department for the period of between 2020 and 2025. And now I'm a deputy head. I have several publications of the field of sports analytics. About 16, most of them in football, some of them in volleyball with Dr. Drikos, in basketball, and also in tennis. We started with Professor Karlis working on this topic from 2000, when nobody knew about that. And one of our first paper was became a dominant seminal in the era. And we decided to create this group in 2015 in order to attract students in this topic and show how statistics can be attractive. Other topics that I'm working in terms of research is sports modeling for both predictive and prescriptive, player performance analytics, competitive balance, sports environmental sustainability, and causal inference is a topic that I have started working. Professor Karlis is the other founder of the group. We started working together in a paper when we were PhD students, and suddenly this created a lot of research work. Our first paper is highly cited, so that's why we decided to go to the next step, which would be the master. So Professor Karlis is working on sports modeling on football and basketball mainly, and handball the last years. And he's doing a lot of in-play modeling with tracking data, and he's also into big data sports analytics. Other important members of the group is Dr. Drikos, that he is with us today. He's assistant professor in the School of Physical Education and Sports Sciences, and he's an expert on volleyball performance analysis, and he was the past volleyball coach of Iraklis, Olympiakos, and the Greek national team, among others. Also, Dr. Manassis, he's working on competitive balance and sports economics, and maybe is one of the reasons that why we created the group. I will come back to that. Our group also has some PhD students, 2 PhD students currently, one MSc student, 2 graduates currently working in the problems. And this period we have also 5 students from University of Rennes and DG Sport working on as interns. 2 of them are working on predictions about football and World Cup. One of them in basketball predictions, and the other 2 they are working on competitive balance, and one with Dr. Drikos on volleyball. Sotiris. Okay, so
yes, in volleyball.
In volleyball. Okay, and other 2 also members of the group is Dr. Vasilis Armatas, who is the head performance analyst of AEK Athens currently, and before that he was in Olympiakos, and Christos Marmarinos, who is a scout of Sacramento Kings, and he serves here as a consultant on basketball analytics and maybe performance analysis. We have various collaborations from period to period. One of the biggest is the Kaizen Gaming, where also they gave us a big funding for scholarships for the department. Also, we have worked with BD Sports and New Stats EU, which is a website creating data for basketball. And here you will see the name of Stefan Kesen, who was one of the top sports economists involved in the Bosman case. And actually, Stefan was the reason why we created this group, and the conferences that we have generated since then. We have organized about 10 conferences on sports analytics, because he decided to come to Athens and give a short course of sports economics, and we decided to create the first conference. So now we are in the 10th annual conference that we do. The conference is called AUEB Sports Analytics Workshop, and it's accompanied with short courses on basketball data science, on football analytics. This year we had coaching by numbers and also sports management. These are some of the posters of the conferences. We have also organized Math Sport International in 2019, which is more European event with about 200 participants. And here is our production in terms of thesis. Currently, the people that they come to our MSc, mainly the MSc in statistics, they are involved in thesis like that. And this is our latest output with Professor Karlis and Leonardo Egidi from University of Trieste, predictive modeling for football analytics. Okay, so I'm closing this introduction about the group and our activities. It is important to understand a little bit how we ended up to create this MSc, because we have a long history of building up in terms of research, in terms of events and networking. And now we are at the step to create our one of the first MSc in sports analytics in Europe. There are some MSCs around, but they are not exactly the same as the master that we have prepared. So what will be about this master? It will be about implementing quantitative methods, data science, statistics in data coming from sports, mainly from the sports industry in general, mainly from teams, betting industry, or other related business industry. So the aim is to implement state-of-the-art data analytics methods in sports data. One of the main aims of the program is to be international flavored, so it will be a failure, in my opinion, if we do not manage to attract also international students. And that's why we have so many collaborations already. And ultimately, to have strong ties with industry, such as betting companies and also sports teams. Okay, so here are some of the topics that we are going to deal with in the Master's: Sports Science and Bioengineering, Statistics and Data Analysis Analytics, Technology including Machine Learning for Sports, Prediction for Betting Industries, Operational Research and Scheduling, and some of the parts will be also involving courses related with business management, of analytics from the business perspective in professional sports. It will be one of the first in Europe. I'm not saying it's the first because there are some masters scattered around and programs. For example, Loughborough University, which is one of the best universities in sports sciences in Europe, they already have a program which they call it sports analytics. At the beginning, it was more like sports management with the topic of sports analytics, but now it seems to be going towards the right direction, towards the machine learning and analytics method. Nevertheless, this is in UK, so the fees are very high, and therefore the program is not very easy to access for European students. There are two other programs that I also am aware. One in Sterling. Sterling is on business sports analytics, which is not exactly the same what we do here. And one in Liverpool, which is in sports analytics. Again, the fees are very high. With Sterling, we have a collaboration, so maybe in the near future we have something like a double degree with them, so you can complement with our degrees. There is a program from Barça Innovation Hub. This is training in sports analytics, but it's not an MSc. And there is another program in football analytics with a company and a university, a small university in Spain. Again, this program is not exactly an MSc program. There is also the MSc in digital sports in Rennes, where one direction is focused on data science for sports. But this is a collaborator, so you can also do this program after you finish, with some benefits. We are going to discuss about that later on in the presentation. So there are several programs that seem that will be starting. So it seems then to be some mobility. We are planning this program the last 3 years with some bureaucratic problems, and we have experience coming from 10 years from the workshops and the networking we have. And that's why the professors will not come only from Athens University of Economics and Business and the University of Athens, but also from other central universities. And the aim is in every topic to have an expert from the corresponding university. These are the collaborations. I already discussed about that. A few words about the double degrees. What is a double degree? A double degree is a collaboration, an agreement between the two universities. So if one student finishes the first program, he can go to the second program without paying fees or with reduced fees, depending on the agreement. And also, he will not do the whole program, the whole second program, but he will transfer units. For example, here, both programs with DigiSport and the University of Naples will be 2 years, 1 year in AUEB and 1 year in the other program, including the common thesis. And also, there will not be any extra fees for the second program. And of course, the second program will be supported by Erasmus, which means about 500 euros per program. I leave a small asterisk on that. Why? Because in order to do that, we need to have an agreement with the corresponding university. And currently, we cannot have an agreement because the program hasn't officially started yet. So it needs some bureaucracy. Hopefully, this bureaucracy will be ready for the second year of the program. So when you finish, you can continue there with the Erasmus support. So let's see a little bit about the structure and some details about the program. So the most important that many people will ask, how much are the fees? So the fees currently, we will start at 8,000 euros. The important thing is that all lectures will be virtual, which means it will be done via Teams and it will be synchronous. So you will need to attend. You can have only about 30% of absence during these virtual lectures. Of course, the lectures will be recorded, so you can have access if you cannot follow them one or two times. So this will be available also offline. Some of the courses or some workshops will be live on site, but this will be optional. And the optional is because some of you may work or you may cannot afford to come just for these live sessions. So it will be optional only for the people they want. One of the sessions, for example, will be during the sports analytics workshop. The second, it will be something like a welcoming. I don't know about the first year because we need to see how and when we are going to start. And possibly maybe we can arrange at the beginning of the second or the third trimester to have something similar to meet your other students, to meet the other students and the professors. The only thing that it will be obligatory and live will be the exams. The exams will be held on site at AUEB. Maybe, but I cannot know this from now. Maybe some of the exams can be done in Trieste, in Italy, and some of the exams, if needed, in the University of Athens. But the main site, it will be the Athens University of Economics and Business. The program, as I said, is joined with the Sports Science School of University of Athens. So everything which is more sports science related will come from this school. The program is 90 CTS, which means two semester, October to May, with full courses. June will be exams and one semester of thesis. Sometimes these theses can be combined with internship. The courses now, the period from October to June, including the exams, will be split in 3 trimesters. So trimesters are smaller than semesters. And in these trimesters, we'll have 10 weeks of courses and 2 weeks of exams. So eventually, we'll have 3 periods, 3 trimesters of 12 weeks during the first year, the first full year that it will be devoted to courses. All students will have free participation in our AUEB Sports Analytics workshop, and I think this is very nice and very important. Why? Because we have about 20 or 25 talks from professors and professionals coming from all over the world, so it's a very nice experience if you be able to attend in this workshop and conference. You can participate in a AUEB Sports Analytics group, ideally if you can attend in person, but it depends every year how these meetings will be done, or we can create an extra group only for the MSc. We'll see about this. You can continue for studies in France or Italy. Have in mind, although our program is virtual in terms of lectures, the 2 other programs, the digital sports in Rennes and the statistical science for decisions in Naples, will be live. So if you select to go to a double degree, the second year should be there in France or in Naples. But both of them seem very interesting destinations and a very nice experience to add in your life. Currently, we are also working with the University of Naples to apply for a funding for a combination of diploma that it will be more useful for Italian students, and they can combine it with our MSc to get a 2-year laurea magistrale in sports analytics. But this is just something we work. We don't know if we are going to have this funding from EU. Okay, another important thing is the program will be full-time and part-time. The full-time will be, as I said, 3 semesters, 2 semesters of courses divided in 3 periods, and 1 semester for the thesis. If someone works hard enough, he can even finish at the end of September and submit the thesis, but ideally, the first submission should be around December or January to have a full semester devoted to the thesis. The part-time will be 2 years of courses and 1 semester or 2 semesters of thesis, depending on how fast you want to go. Ideally, you can finish in 2 years this program, but the recommended in this occasion will be 2.5 years. Moreover, there are 2 tracks, 2 specializations, 2 curriculums. The first one will be called sports data science, and it will be more technical and focused on quantitative methods. It will be focused to graduates coming from a strong quantitative background, mathematicians, statisticians, data scientists, engineers, people coming from informatics. And the second track will be called Applied Sports Analytics, and it will be lighter in terms of quantitative methods, less technical, and it will be focused on sports scientists and economics or business-oriented degrees. Have in mind that economics or business-oriented degrees can also go to track 1, provided that they have taken many courses in statistics and data science in their first degree. So economics and business, it will be split, but most of the people will go to the second track. It will depend on their CV. This is the list of the courses and the semesters. So you can see there is a course on Introduction in R and Python. So these will be the main tools that we are going to use during the program. A course on data analysis, visualization, data storytelling in sports, performance sports analysis, sports modeling, machine learning, basketball data science, football analytics, applied sports economics, big data analytics, and management. These are the obligatory courses. And then you have to select 10 ECTS. Every one of them is 2.5 here, and these are 5 ECTS. So essentially, you can select 5 of these courses, and these courses would be only 5 weeks, while these would be 10 weeks, 10 lectures of 3 hours. So here we have operational research and scheduling, which is very important in sports analytics, coaching by numbers, where we'll have invited coaches to describe how they integrate numbers in their everyday life. Sports law, because it's important to know the law in sports in order to be able to implement all these methods. Sports management, Olympic event organization, biomechanics, integrated exercise physiology, and sports marketing. This sports marketing is 5 ECTS, and it is a choice only for this first track on data science. Here is the second path. The second path, we said that it's more technical, so it would be an introductory course on mathematics, since we assume that the background on maths will be lighter. Introduction R and Python is common. An introduction to statistical methods, which will be a basic course on statistics, data analysis, visualization, performance analysis, sports marketing, here is obligatory, basketball data science, football analytics, applied sports economic, and sustainability in sports. This is also an important topic because UEFA and all the big sports organizations, they are pushing people to go towards creating more sustainable events and stadiums. So this is a very important part if you want to be on this field. And here the optional courses are anthology of sports, operational research and scheduling, coaching by numbers, sports law, sports management, Olympic event organization, biomechanics, integrated sports modeling, machine learning. These are hardcore courses for some of the people that they feel more strong, and they can take it as optional courses from the first track. So as you have seen, the courses are covering analytics, including statistics, operational research, and machine learning, in general data science, sports science courses, business-related courses, and this goes more on path 2, and sports-focused courses like football analytics, basketball data analytics, track and field analytics. We don't have it yet, but in the future, maybe we add something like that. We will see how the program evolves and how we are going to change it, and also it depends on the availability of the lecturers. Now I'm going to move to give a little bit more time on the 2 double degrees. The first double degree is on digital sports sciences with digital sports in RENS. As I said, you do 1 year in AUEB and the second year in DigiSport in RENS. You need to go there. And currently, the program is almost ready. We are waiting for approval, not from RENS, from the University of Athens. Actually, I need to update this. So we need one more signature from the University of Athens to make this official. When you go there, you need to take 60 CTS in core courses. If you don't know what is CTS, are units. Usually a course is 60 CTS or 80 ECTS, depending how big it is. In our program, most of the programs are 5 ECTS. So professional skills, 10 ECTS. I'm going to say more about this. Integration on professional environment, 4 ECTS. Minor in digital sports science, 10 ECTS. And then you do an internship, which will be combined with the thesis or common thesis here, 30 ECTS. So essentially, it's 1.5 semester here. For the core ECTS, you need to take these 3 courses: biomechanical modeling, integrate exercise physiology. So if you have taken them from Athens, you can possibly transfer this. And for the professional skills, you can take measurement needs and real constraints, measurement tools and methods, digital tools and training load, and deep learning. Here in minor in digital sports sciences, you need 10 ECTS. You have 4 as a project, 3 ECTS from methodology of training, and then you select 1 course from advanced statistical modeling for complex data, machine learning, or data mining and clustering. And then you have internships, actually. Parts of them are some internships with companies and thesis. For Naples, of course, it is not recommended for people that they are in path 2, but only for people from path 1. Why? Because it is on statistics, more technical. It is approved by Naples, and we are waiting. It is approved by Naples and the AUEB. It is signed by AUEB, and we are waiting approval from the final signature from Naples. And here is the courses that you need to take in the second year in there. There are 2 paths again there: statistical learning and intelligent data analysis, statistical models for complex data. Here are the ECTS units. Statistical learning, actuarial mathematics, optimization, decision making. 1 course from credit and financial risk, or statistical methods for credit, or bioinformatics, or machine learning. And 12 units from optional courses. Essentially, these are 2 courses, 3 from traineeship, and the rest is a common thesis. If you take the other direction or path or curriculum, this curriculum is called Statistics for Human and Social Sciences, and the courses are statistical methods for complex data, statistical methods for behavioral sciences. You choose economic statistics or demographic methods, and then you have some optional courses and the thesis. Okay, and with this, I have completed the presentation. So now, if you have questions, I will be happy to discuss. Before that, I will pass the word to Dr. Drikos if he wants to add something to the presentation. Sotiri?
Okay, thank you, Professor Zoufras. I would like good afternoon to everyone, and I would like to give you a warm welcome to this open day of our new master in sport analytics. Okay, I am here wearing a lot of hats. I have many different roles. I'm here representing the Department of Sport Science, and as an assistant professor, who is passionate about teaching the next generation of sport professionals, of sport coaches. But before I ever stepped into a university lecture, to analyze data on screen, I spent years on the court as a professional coach. So one of my roles here is that the ex-coach. So I would like to present to you what coaches and clubs are looking today. They are looking for clarity. They want to know why a strategy works or don't work, how to minimize injury risks, and where the opponent for a club is problematic or strong. So that is exactly that this master steps in. We would like to bridge the gap between athletic performance and advanced data science. Most of them, and the curriculum of the data were presented by Professor Jufras very accurately. And I don't like to say anything more, but I would like to encourage you to talk to us during this session and to ask questions about our curriculum, about our projects, and how we can go on this path for your next generation, to create the next generation of sport professionals. So thank you, Yannis, thank you, Professor Jufras.
Thank you, Sotiris. Thank you, Sotiri, for that. We have with us also Konstantinos Panousis, who is a new assistant professor in the department. He's working on machine learning and deep learning. Currently, I'm trying to convince him to do some analysis on sports. I don't know if Konstantinos, you want to say something.
Yeah, hello everyone. As Professor Jufras is saying, he's trying really hard to make me do some sports analytics. So this is the first year that I proposed like a master thesis. We're using machine learning techniques for sports analysis and how we can use like global information from several leagues, either on football or basketball, to get some more information about local leagues. And this would be an interesting project. I think this is a very nice initiative. And in the beginning, because I didn't hear before about sports analytics when I was doing deep learning, I was thinking this sounds weird. But it is a very difficult problem, and it has so much opportunities to test new methods, machine learning, and deep learning, and classical statistical methods. So I find that it is the future to use data for sports analysis, and we have the means and the methods to try to do all that. So we're expecting you for our new master.
Thank you, Konstantinos. So now, if you have any questions, we can discuss. And actually, since I cannot see any foreigner, we can switch to Greek. I will stop recording and switch to Greek to make it a little bit more direct. If you don't have any problem, just a minute to stop the recording. Okay, stop recording. Okay.